Welcome back to Kat's Kitchen. My name is Kat, and today I'm going to show you how to make the Starbucks Cran-Merry Orange Refresher at home. If you haven't tried this drink from Starbucks, it's a fun one. It's a little more tart and candle-like tasting for my preference, but it is a fun holiday spiced cranberry orange beverage, and it's a really simple one to make yourself at home, and that's exactly what we're going to do today. I really love the Cran-Merry Orange base, so what we're going to make today, and I have been using it in all sorts of different recipes, like using Sprite Zero or ginger ale or water or coconut milk or lemonade to make all sorts of different variations of a cranberry refresher. And I love that making it at home, you have the option to use lower sugar options or completely sugar-free options. You could use fresh orange juice or store-bought. You can include caffeine or not. If you didn't know, the Starbucks version does have caffeine in it. So I am going to show a caffeinated option for you at home. If you're interested in that, and if you don't want any caffeine at all, feel free to skip the caffeinated option. So without further ado, let's jump into the ingredients you'll need. Very minimal ingredients. Such an easy recipe. You need cranberry juice. I like to keep the sugar a little bit on the lighter side, so I have a light cranberry juice. This one is just no sugar added. Feel free to use whatever cranberry juice you like. Orange juice. The Starbucks version has a blood orange juice concentrate, so you can squeeze your own blood oranges if you want. That does take some extra time, energy, effort, but it will produce a very delicious blood orange flavor if you're into that. Blood oranges are a little bit harder to find. I noticed not every grocery store carries them. I did see some at Sprouts, Whole Foods, and Fry's. I believe I saw blood oranges. But if you can't get your hands on blood oranges or blood orange juice, totally fine. Use regular orange juice. This recipe tastes absolutely fabulous with regular orange juice. So that's what we're going to use today. You'll need some fresh cranberries, and then I like to use whole nutmeg and whole cloves. This just gives you that flavor of cloves and nutmeg in the recipe, but doesn't have that graininess or that added texture that ground nutmeg and ground cloves gives the recipe. You could use ground cloves and ground nutmeg if that's all you can find, or you already have that at home. Totally fine. You just might need to strain out the mixture a couple times to really get out the spices, so you don't get too much of that texture and grittiness in your cran orange base. And then I do half a cup of sugar to just tie it all together, add a little bit of sweetness. This is optional. You could also use stevia, swerve, monk fruit, whatever sugar-free alternative you like. The last ingredient you'll need for this cranberry orange base is some kind of caffeinated option. I like green coffee bean powder. You can buy this pack from Amazon for, I want to say, around 20 bucks. This will last you forever. You only need a teeny tiny amount, and this is just going to give you some caffeine without changing the texture, color, or taste of the beverage. So I like this option for some easy caffeine. Skip it if you want it completely caffeine free. I like to skip this as I make the base. That way I have the option to add it in when I want to. But I have been drinking this like as an evening mocktail with ginger ale or a Sprite Zero. And so I don't want any caffeine late at night. So I like to skip this instead of adding it into the pot with all the rest of the ingredients, so I can add it in if needed or if desired later on once the base is made. Those are the ingredients. Let's get jumping into the actual recipe. This recipe will make a big ol' batch of the cranberry orange base, and then you can make 7 grande size cranberry orange refreshers from the base that we're making today, which is awesome because that means it comes out to like $1 per beverage instead of 6 something, which is crazy. This recipe couldn't be easier. We're just dumping everything into a pot. I have 3.5 cups of fresh cranberries. I'm gonna add them into a pot. This pot ideally shouldn't be hot, but this burner was on. It's fine, it's fine. Then 3 cups of orange juice. 3 cups of cranberry juice, half a cup of sugar, and then 2 whole nutmegs, If you're doing ground nutmeg, do half a tablespoon, and then I have whole cloves. I'm doing about 8 cloves or 1/4 of a teaspoon. Easy peasy, adding everything into the pot, and I just like to give this a little mix to kind of dissolve the sugar a little bit, and then turn this baby all the way up to get it boiling. We want this mixture to be boiling. Oops. And if you do want your mixture to have caffeine in it already, that is where you will add the green coffee bean powder. Do 1 full teaspoon here in this mixture, stir to dissolve, and then bring to a boil. All right, you can see the mixture is bubbling and boiling a little bit. Definitely keep an eye on this because it can bubble over very quickly. Also, you'll notice that a lot of the cranberries will start bursting and popping. That's totally normal. But now that we are boiling, I am gonna turn the temperature down or the heat down to let this simmer. And we just want to let this simmer untouched, unbothered for 10 full minutes. And then we'll come back and strain the cranberries out and be left with a delicious base. Keep an eye on it so it doesn't bubble over. You see the cranberries popping, totally normal. Let this baby simmer for 10 minutes. The cranberry orange base has been simmering for 10 minutes. So turn off the heat and then strain out the cranberries from the mixture. You can scoop them out like I'm gonna do. I have a little strainer that I just scoop. Make sure to keep all the juices inside and then put the cranberries in a separate bowl. Or you can just dump this, straight into a larger strainer. Do it that way, whatever your preference is. We're just trying to get the cranberries, cloves, and nutmeg out of this mixture. And look at what a beautiful deep red this mixture is now. So, so, so pretty. Some things you can do with the leftover cranberries is add them to yogurt, add some granola for a parfait. You can add them on top of French toast, pancakes, waffles. I would try to pick out the cloves and the nutmeg so you don't get a big old clove piece in there. You could also freeze these and make little ice cube molds if you wanted to. Add some flavor to your beverages like mocktails, cocktails, etc. Fishing for some cranberries, doo-dah, doo-dah. Fishing for some cranberries, oh, doo-dah day. All right, I think we got all the cranberries out. And again, look at this beautiful color. So pretty, so, so pretty. And then you just want to let this mixture cool until it's room temperature, and then you can start making your drink or add it to the fridge. If you want to, you can prep a mason jar. I usually do some hot water in the jar, let it sit while the mixture is simmering, and then you can strain and pour the mixture directly into a mason jar. You don't want the jar to be cold and then adding hot liquid into a cold jar. So add some hot water, then dump it out, pat it dry so it's nice and warm before adding your mixture in, or just leave it alone, let it sit on the stove, but make sure you strain those cranberries out first and then let it chill. So I'm gonna let this chill for an hour to 2 hours until it's room temperature, and then we can make our Starbucks Cran-Merry Orange Refresher at home. Okay, and I actually have some of the base that has already been chilled and bottled. It looks beautiful. I mean, look at that color, gorgeous. You can store it in a mason jar or a fun little syrup bottle like this. I will link these below because they're just extra fun. And to make a homemade Starbucks Cran-Merry Refresher at home, you need some kind of shaker cup. You can use a mason jar with a lid or a cocktail shaker, which is what I'm gonna use. To the cocktail shaker, we will add equal parts cranberry orange base and water. So I like to do 6 ounces for a grande and 6 ounces of water. If you were doing the lemonade version or coconut milk version, only do 3 ounces of water. Also in the shaker, we're doing some fresh cranberries. You could also do freeze-dried cranberries if you wanted. Starbucks uses freeze-dried cranberries, but they are like crazy expensive unless you're buying an insane amount, which I'm sure like none of us are. Then some ice. And optional caffeine is the green coffee bean powder. Again, I did not add this in with the rest of the mixture in the pot, but you can. I like the option of adding caffeine when I want to. It comes with, this powder comes with an itty bitty spoon. I just do 1 spoonful in there. Again, you can't taste it at all, no flavor, just add some caffeine. Add the lid and shake. Shake, shake, shake. Get everything nice and cold. And then here's a cup. Remove the lid. These always get stuck. It's just me. There we go. There we go. And pour in your Starbucks Cran-Merry Refresher into your cup. Perfect. And we'll give it a taste test. Well, actually, first let's admire her beauty in all her glory. Gorgeous. So, so good. It tastes so similar to Starbucks. It's not even funny. But you really get the delicious cranberry orange flavors. So good. And then just a subtle amount of spice from the cloves and the nutmeg. Delightful. Feel free to add coconut milk to top it off or lemonade if you want. But that is how you make a Starbucks Cran-Merry Orange Refresher at home. Super duper simple. You just make the base. You just add all the ingredients to a pot, let it simmer, and then add to some water and ice, and you have your own refresher at home. And I also want to show you another way to enjoy this cranberry orange base. Instead of just making a refresher, you can make a fun mocktail. I have been drinking this almost every night. It is so good. And again, so simple. You have your base that you can just store in the fridge, and then I have some ice cubes that I just froze like 2 or 3 cranberries in each ice cube mold, and then added some water and then freeze overnight, and you get these fun, really cute little cranberry ice cubes. Love. Add them to a holiday cup, 3 or 4 of them, just like that. When you freeze the water and cranberries, the cranberries will like float to the top and kind of be over the surface of the water. So just use a square plate or a round plate, whatever, to press down on top of it so that the cranberries stay inside the ice cubes and don't like float on top. No one told me I got green coffee powder on me. Rude. Love that. All right. Ice cubes in the cup, then our Cran-Merry Orange Refresher base. Do about 2 or 3 ounces. Top her off with a ginger ale or ginger beer. Both are fabulous. To keep the sugar low, I have a 0 sugar Canada Dry ginger ale. Can you tell I'm excited? I love this bev. And then a little sprig of rosemary. I like to swirl it around a little bit so it gives a little rosemary flavor. And then like so, you have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Cran-Merry Orange Ginger Smash Mocktail. Delightful. So good. With the rosemary, stop. And then the ice cubes kind of melt, and then you're just like left with bobbing cranberries. I think it's so cute. So cute. So fun. Delish. Hold on, let me see. Can you see it? Look how cute. Look how cute it is. Love. Love, love. So these are 2 ways you can enjoy your base that you made at home. It's honestly good on its own. You don't need to add anything to it, but these are 2 ways to enjoy it. Make a Starbucks Cran-Merry Refresher at home with or without caffeine, or use the base to make a fun holiday mocktail. If you give either of these recipes a try, let me know what you think. Thank you so, so much for watching this video. I hope it inspired you to make your own Starbucks Cran-Merry Orange Refresher at home to save your money this holiday season, or to create a fun festive mocktail at home. Be sure to drop any questions or comments below, and I will see you in the next video. Mwah! Got a blast. This was so fun. So fun. So fun. So fun. So fun. So fun. Hey, okay.